Well, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Today is a little bit of a unique situation. We have snow-covered rooftops here in Baltimore.
The landslide will bring you down.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good song.
Stupid idiot.
Well, I guess so. But it's kind of a cool ambiance in here with the skylights covered in snow.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
I hadn't even looked up there yet.
This final day of January 2021. What a roller coaster this has been.
January 31st, 2021.
Yeah.
1 month of weird shit happening.
Not a single one of us are in normal pants today. We're all in
No.
sweatpants or leggings because it's snowing.
Because it's 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
2020 2.0.
wearing regular
Mm.
pants went out the window sometime in May of
March
last year. Yeah.
No, March easily of
probably
last year.
Close, April.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
easily March because I was pregnant.
Yeah. Different for you.
Yeah. But it's been fun.
Okay. I have a fantastic
Ooh,
question.
the big opener. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to eat a taquito right here.
You can probably
Okay.
talk more normal because you have a quiet voice.
Okay. You guys. Where was the best burger you ever had? And what kind was it?
The best burger I've
Interesting.
ever had. I am going to go with Dad's Diner back home.
Everything is back home for you.
But no, it's...
Don't you dare say it.
What?
Don't you dare say your tagline.
West
West Coast, Best
Shut-
Coast?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's
You
West
did
Coast,
it.
Best Coast.
You prompted it.
So
I didn't prompt it.
Dad's Diner is a really good,
Jacques.
like, I'm just gonna toot their horn. They were like a food truck and it was like all like, oh, it's just the best food. They have good breakfast and good like meats and everything, and all like their stuff comes in fresh every morning.
Do they like slaughter the cow in the parking lot?
Pretty much. Like it's
right outside the city, yeah.
yeah, like
Ugh.
right outside the city. And oh gosh, it was the best burger and the fries were so good too.
Were they waffle fries?
No.
Well,
Waffle fries are not the best fry.
in your opinion.
That's another question.
For someone who loves sauces so much, waffle fries are the best scoopable.
They are the best vessel for sausage.
They are.
For sure. I was going to say for sausages.
I like curly fries.
Oh yeah, Arby's curly fries, top.
Love a good curly
Alright.
fry.
Are we getting off topic?
Steven,
So
best burger.
I had to look up the name of the place because I'd forgotten. But
It's Five Guys, isn't it?
no.
It is.
A place in Pensacola called the Tin Cow. And it is a restaurant that is a fully build your own burger. They have no pre-made burgers, but they have choices of bison, wild boar, Kobe beef,
I
kangaroo,
thought you were going to say Kobe
emu.
Bryant.
Kobe.
Well,
Too soon.
I don't think there's a lot of his body left.
Oh.
And if it is, it's probably well done already.
Yikes! It's
Too far.
it's meat from the hillside pastures of California. Sorry.
Happy cows
I'm
come from
uncomfortable.
California.
Family.
I'm
On
sorry,
behalf
Vanessa
of
Bryant.
Just
we
myself
are,
and Meg here. We're
we-
really sorry.
We're very sorry for our husbands.
Anyway, so it's build your own, but you can get all of those. And so I got I believe it was a Kobe beef patty, and I did the standard like Western style burger. Oh, yeah, it's noon.
Top.
Time for some scotch.
It's 12:01. I literally
Scotchy,
waited for
scotch, scotch.
12:01.
So you can, like I said, you build your own burger, and I had a Western style, so it was jalapenos and queso and grilled onions. So it was definitely the best burger I've ever had. But it also is a restaurant that serves over 20 flavors of alcoholic milkshakes.
Sign me up.
Oh my
I dig
God.
it. Let's go.
Alcohol and milk.
Oh, you've had
Have
Baileys.
you ever had a White Russian?
That's fair.
Not that I can recall. No,
And like
They're not
peppermint
very
schnapps and
good.
hot chocolate.
no, I don't think I've ever had that.
I'm pretty sure we had.
Have you had a
that
rum,
for
Kahlua?
Christmas.
rum and eggnog?
Didn't we?
Rum and eggnog.
Oh yeah, I've had
No,
rum
maybe
and
we just
eggnog.
had.
No, not rum.
Hmm.
I do whiskey.
But yeah, so
SoCo.
it's V good.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
anyway, I had
let's
it was a
so
little.
we're,
Sign me
so
up.
we're going on a trip to Florida now.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds great.
We need to.
Jason?
Mine, I don't remember the name of the place. It's probably some Arabic scribble. But in Bahrain, off of, have you heard of American Alley?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's this place in Bahrain just outside the front gate of the naval base out there. It's called
I like
American.
that my husband pointed to me. I've never been to Bahrain.
No. It was because for a second, there's an American Alley in Japan as well, in Okinawa.
Yeah, so
And
outside,
that's where
like
we went.
internationally, outside of most major naval bases, there's a street with Americanized food, like Burger King and all that crap
Yeah.
is there.
Spaghetti Factory.
Probably not that.
Oh,
I
they
think there
have
was
one in
one in
Nashville.
Japan.
So there was a little family-owned shop just off American Alley outside the naval base main gate in Bahrain, and it was a water buffalo burger, and it was
Mhm.
like water buffalo, an onion like slice, lettuce, and some sort of like honey Dijon. Oh, it was like and on like a pretzel bun, so good.
Do you guys know they have poutine at McDonald's in France?
Random, but yes.
I know, like
Always.
McDonald's in every other country is so much better than McDonald's in America.
Every time
Steve is
we
itching to get
travel-
something out.
Yeah, every time we travel, I make a effort to go to McDonald's because I just want to see what their menu has.
Yeah.
Yes, Steven.
I'm sorry, you talked about water buffalo, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen Veggie Tales.
I have.
There is a song.
The hairbrush song.
Well, that's one of them, but there's another one.
Water buffalo.
Everybody has a water buffalo. Yours is fast, but mine is slow.
I
really,
totally
yeah.
know what you're talking about.
Sorry,
It
it just
sounds like a version of a Weird Al Yankovic children's song.
Kind of.
it kind of
A little
is.
bit.
All right,
The
Lil.
hairbrush song is one of my
What
favorites.
prompted this question? Oh,
And where's yours?
Where is your burger?
Oh,
where is your burger? Oh,
God.
where, oh, 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 where is your burger?
We are in no way endorsed by VeggieTales, nor are we seeking that endorsement.
Yeah,
I might,
kind of
whatever.
wanna
I
be.
totally am. I have a child.
Can you imagine VeggieTales
That's true.
sponsoring us with all of our curse words and sex jokes?
Only if we do spoken word Veggie Tales songs.
It's a true Christian for you.
I wonder if any of those VeggieTale voices are like convicted felons.
Probably. I asked the question because I, to this day, cannot figure out where my best burger was.
That means you haven't had a truly fantastic
What an
burger.
anticlimactic question.
I know.
I've been
I know.
waiting.
I know. You'd think that I'd have some fantastic answer because honestly, if I were to give you an answer, it would be In-N-Out or Shake Shack up the street.
Oh, I
Okay,
love
so-
those-
Shake Shack.
They're great burgers, but they're not.
They're like fast food burgers.
Yeah, it's not like this delicious.
They're like the Honda Civic of burgers.
they're
Everybody's
like
had
the
it.
That's a
Hyundai
good.
of
Yeah, that's a
burger.
good analogy.
That is a good
It's
analogy.
good and it's reliable, but it's not. It's
Okay,
not
yeah, more of
memorable.
a. If we're going reliability, then it'd have to be a Honda, not a Hyundai.
Oh
Take
yeah, definitely
Yes.
not a Hyundai. I
Yeah.
said a Honda Civic. Yeah.
Take
I
a-
said a Hyundai
Oh yeah, no.
No, it's
No.
a
because
Honda.
fast food.
That's like
But-
that's like the dollar burger from McDonald's. What?
I was
Steve?
gonna, yeah,
Take-
the
take a
Hyundai's like
pause.
Burger
Pause,
King.
pause.
Look outside.
It's snowing pretty hard out there.
Babe, I love you, but we don't have to look outside every time
He's
the
excited.
snow changes.
He's excited.
Well, it's more just.
It was more for
monitoring.
them and the amount of snow coming down because they have to drive.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well,
But-
then let's get
but
through this and
thanks for
stop
that.
taking pauses, Steven.
Oh
if
my
you
god.
guys can,
I
you guys
appreciate
can
you.
just stay here. It's fine.
No, we have 2 dogs, and
This
my
is true.
You're gonna get a
son's at home
text
for
within the
homework,
next 8
and-
minutes saying,
Nope, Jax is drugged up today.
"Oh, nice."
So
Poor
did you guys
son.
take him to the vet in Arnold?
Yes.
Okay, we need
Mhm.
to go to the vet. For
Yeah,
our
I was
dogs.
actually disappointed in the vet because in the past they put Oakley on medication, never really Jax. But they took Jackson yesterday and they did a behavioral analysis of him, and
Right.
he's just a gigantic pansy. He's just scared of everything,
Yeah,
Sounds
Stella-
from
like loud.
lights to loud noises. To
Stella's very much the same. Stella is afraid of everything. She thinks she sees things.
Stella's worse than Jax.
Yeah.
You
Well, so Stella thinks that she sees things in the closets, on the floor,
Mhm.
and in the sky. And speaking of seeing things in the sky,
No, I'm not doing this fucking jellyfish conversation. Is that where this
She's
is
also
going?
very afraid of her own reflection.
no, speaking of seeing things in the sky, today's story has to do with things in the sky.
Okay. All right. Better
Wow.
tangent.
It was a great lead in until you went right on it.
Dude,
I'm just
the
saying.
last time we
I was
talked
just
about
before,
the sky,
Before we go to the sky. Oh yeah, last time we talked about the sky.
you
about some
brought up
stupid.
fucking jellyfish, sky jellyfish,
This
and that
isn't
is
SpongeBob.
absurd.
We don't live in Bikini Bottom.
All right.
Oh.
So speaking of seeing things in the sky, and where are the things in the sky? Babe, what do you have for us today?
I have a really good story.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is of the Battle of Los Angeles, not to be confused with the movie.
The great movie with Rihanna and Liam Neeson? Oh, wait. No, that was
No.
Battleship.
Oh,
That was Battleship.
But
Never mind.
Battle
Oh
Los
my
So
god,
stupid.
what?
The movie Battle Los Angeles is like based on this, but like not really.
No,
But
Battle of Los Angeles has the guy Aaron Eckhart or whatever. He's the guy that plays Harvey Dent and
Ah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
okay.
Anyways.
Harvey Dent from Batman?
Oh, Batman.
I am so
It's
mad
one
at
of
you
my
right now.
favorite movies.
The
I
Dark
love
Knight.
Batman.
It's second only to Lord of the Rings for me.
Thank you, Stephen.
Continue, Meg.
Just gonna let Lily.
Simmer.
All right, Meg. What do
So
you?
our
Do
story is
gently.
on the Battle of Los Angeles, and
And this should be
I actually hijacked this story from my husband. So if he wants to
And this should
contribute,
be-
he can.
our last pint-sized podcast.
Pint-sized party. Even though they're not really, because
And yeah, and
our stories are.
But this is
longer.
our last week of adjusting to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder, anybody out there listening, let us know if you prefer 2 stories or just one.
yeah, we're looking at possibly making a change and doing one so we can go a little more in depth. But
I'm still gonna call it a pint-sized potty because it's fun.
all right.
I won't.
Wow.
Maybe our normals will be pint sized because we're all alcoholics and pints are normal for us. And then,
It's just-
Well, I'm not a
Okay.
beer drinker.
oh, well, I am.
I am too.
Good IPA.
A
All right.
good Lagavulin.
So set the stage for us, babe.
So this is going to be in the 40s, and I actually want to go back to the attack on Pearl Harbor, which was, who can give me the date that's was in the military?
December 7th, 1941.
Thanks,
so
Lily.
all of us.
All of us can
I
give
think
us
it's
that date.
Day that will live in infamy, right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
December 7th is
Oh, okay.
also Aaron Carter's birthday.
So fun fact, when I was in college, I went to theater school and we had auditions on December 7th to tell us what we were going to be in for like our final semester. And so my teacher was like, and she's like, why is that an important date? And someone was like, our auditions are that day. And every other person in the class like turned and looked at him. We were like, you dumb fuck, it's Pearl Harbor
You dumb
Day.
bitch.
Can we talk about how you guys glossed over the fact that I knew it was Aaron Carter's birthday?
I mean, I
No
didn't
one
know who
cares about Aaron
is.
Carter.
I
Have
think
you seen
literally
him
no
Except for
lately?
one.
Aaron Carter.
Have you seen him lately? He is a hot mess.
He is.
Isn't he like married to a stripper or something?
I don't know.
That wouldn't be far off track.
Last I saw, there was like a big face tattoo,
Mm-hmm. There was.
like circa Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But,
Uh-huh.
well, drugs.
Anyways, so
Cocaina.
sorry, I go off topic a lot. So yes, Pearl Harbor happened, and there was a lot of fear after that we Americans were going to be attacked by the Japanese, and everyone was really freaking out about it.
I mean, that makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does. They were just worried that they were going to get like the mainland of the US, and there were a lot of rumors that the Japanese were going to be invading. There was an incident of their fear that came from a tip to the US Navy claiming that there were 30 enemy ships.
Emily shit.
Emily
ships. Enemy ships.
Emily.
Well, there was
And-
actually.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's like finding Nemo.
The anemone.
So
The
Don't
anemone
hurt
shits.
yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
this fear too, I remember researching, was not totally unfounded.
No.
The Japanese were actually seen to have a submarine surface outside of Santa Barbara.
Yes, we'll
The-
get to that.
Oh, you will?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying
Shut your
to
mouth.
help.
So at one point, yeah, like people were calling in tips to the Navy that they saw 30 Japanese ships off of the coast of California.
Yeah, and for,
turned out to be nothing.
But to touch on that, I don't know anything about this story.
Yeah.
Historically, during that time, the U.S. Navy was almost comparable to the Japanese Imperial Navy in terms of
Mhm.
size and speed. So, like, you know, as a military person, it's not far off base to think that during that time that Japan could have actually attacked the U.S. mainland.
Yeah, this was entirely after Teddy Roosevelt's desire to build the Great White Fleet and have the largest navy in the world. So,
Right.
it was simply equal to Japan. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely something that they had the capability. It was just desire and timing.
Right. Back to you,
Yeah.
Meg. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's nice to have your guys' input. But yeah, that ended up actually just being fishing boats that were off the coast of California that people were freaking out and they're like, it's Japan.
hate when I mistake submarines for fishing boats.
right?
Those weren't depth charges. Those were little
I
firecrackers to
can't
kill
tell
fish.
you how many times
That's
that
no
has happened.
moon. That's a fishing boat.
So like I said, this is post Pearl Harbor, and cities were going into like blackouts because they were really scared and they didn't want enemies to be able to like see what was going on. So in Alaska, the residents followed a blackout after rumors of Japanese submarines lingering the East Alaskan coast. In San Francisco and Oakland, they were closing schools because of rumors that Japanese aircraft were flying around the bay. Seattle also had a blackout. Fun fact.
A little FF.
Vehicle owners, business owners, and building owners, all their windows and property were smashed by a mob of 2,000 people after people had left their lights on in their vehicles and buildings and businesses.
So
Kind of like Chaz.
So all those people that left the lights on, the angry mob was like, "No, you need to turn these lights
the
out."
angry mob was like, you need to turn these lights off because the Japanese are going to attack us.
Was somebody on Twitter encouraging that beforehand, or
Yeah, if you didn't know, Twitter was around in 1942.
Oh, okay, cool.
Motel 6 would not have done well then.
Oh my god!
We'll
Leave your
leave the
light
lights
on.
on.
Leave the lights on.
Oh my gosh. So these rumors were actually taken very seriously. Like the boys said in their military knowledge, they sent 500 troops to Disneyland,
He's sure.
The one in California.
the one in California,
Okay.
to protect Hollywood.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
That sounds
Priorities.
like a total.
Yeah, like
that's
they were. I
exactly
guess they
what
were.
would
I don't
happen.
like. I didn't really get a lot more in depth of that, but like they were really worried about it, like ruining Hollywood studios and
Sure.
Huh.
everything there.
Sounds
Kind
a
of
lot
like-
like people,
Well, I mean,
shutting down trading on a
just-
stock. That,
Or
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Don't
or
get me
like,
started.
if
I've
you
been
guys-
bitching about Robin Hood for 3 days now.
if you guys remember when all of the cities had people overtake them, like Chaz and Seattle, they tried to in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles was like, no, sorry, there's too much money and celebrities here.
I mean,
And they're the only city to like shut it down.
like thinking abstractly, this is the age of like the TV starting to gain traction. Think of how much that was propping up the U.S. economy at the time.
I wonder
That's
if this is
fair.
before or after the Orson Welles radio show,
I was wondering the same.
I think Wells was in
Mars.
early
The-
41, right?
So it would have
think
been
that
after.
Mar-
You're talking about the Mars attacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna
that's-
look that up because
Yeah.
that's actually really good on
That's a
this.
good question,
It's a good
Steven.
question.
Sorry, Meg, didn't mean to hijack again.
It's okay.
Okay,
It's fun.
I'll just go fuck myself.
Fuck yourself, Jake.
Can I watch?
You will.
My wrist is sore.
Fuck me yourself, you coward.
That's the best.
Anyway, back to you, Meg.
Okay, so we're gonna. This is around February. So February 23rd in 1942, in Santa Barbara.
What the fuck
What was that?
I
That
don't
was my
know.
throat.
Was it?
It wasn't a burp. It just
You
like
should
I
get
guess
that
there was a
checked
bubble
out.
in there.
Okay, that's interesting.
Orson Welles was 1938.
Okay,
so a few years.
So a few years after.
Okay.
So February 23rd, this is in Santa Barbara. President Roosevelt had spoken on the radio, and he said, "The oceans had become endless battlefields on which we are constantly being challenged by our enemies." At that time, a Japanese submarine had surfaced near Santa Barbara and shot out 13 rounds at oil installations. Is that like a refinery?
It was an offshore oil
Yeah.
platform.
So
Do you think that was a
Oh.
taunt to the original 13 colonies?
maybe.
Kind of like when
yes.
demons like knock 3 times, as a taunt to the Holy Trinity.
Oh yeah.
So they did cause some damage to the piers and the oil wells, but their intended target was the gasoline plant, and they did not
Oh
hit
shit!
that.
So this was a legitimate like
This was
attempt
legitimate.
attack.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why Roosevelt made that comment over the radio.
Huh.
It's relatively
one,
unknown.
one ship firing off rounds seems kind of like a BB gun shooting at a freight train.
Well, so what I remember reading a little bit, and the Office of Naval Intelligence actually debated whether or not this was nothing more than a scouting mission to test our
Mm.
coastal defenses,
Oh,
which leads into why the coastal defenses out there got built up so
Mhm.
much after that.
Interesting.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously, people are freaking out even more. The next morning, Los Angeles woke. They were in a panic. They
They
saw
were
photo.
woke.
When they woke,
Los Angeles is always
Them
woke.
They are always
them
woke.
liberal wokes.
they were in a panic. They saw in the newspapers and they saw photos of this, but also no submarines were found. when they investigated this. So, I
Because
mean,
they
that's
didn't have
creepy.
a P3 back then.
No P3s.
So up until this point, we've got, oh shit, there's 30 ships coming. Just kidding. One submarine. Boom, 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 boom. What the fuck?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No submarine is
Still
found.
only 3 months after Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is February.
Hey, Jay, can you pronounce that word for me?
Yeah. What month are we going into tomorrow?
02.
No. What
No.
month are we going into
I
tomorrow, Jay?
missed this whole conversation.
No. No.
Come on.
What is it?
February.
He even Googled to see who was saying it right, and we were saying it right.
Did you?
Okay.
It's all right.
Maybe
Maybe next February we'll take a trip to Edinburgh.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
guys.
I'm going to
Time
admit my
go.
humility here. I was wrong. It's not February. It's February. But I hate the English language. Anyway. Also, side tangent, real quick.
Yes.
Does anybody else ever struggle with the 2-2 thing? The TO
No.
or the TOO?
No.
Okay, I'll just go
Jake?
fuck myself.
Jay?
TOO means like also.
Also, I know.
Or like too much.
Yeah, or too much.
Jay can't figure it out. Sometimes he'll send the correct two, and then he'll follow
If
up
it's-
with the other two.
if it's
Honestly,
talk-
I don't know.
If it's talking about too many things, it has
It's
too
too
many
O's.
O's.
No, I understand that. I get that. But if I'm like, we're
Too
going
many
to,
O's.
if we're going to the store, I'm always
It's
getting it wrong.
TO.
He's like,
Because you're going
I
to
got it.
the store. You're going to a place.
Fuck you guys. Back to the story.
I don't know how. I don't know when to say whom, so I just always say who.
Then
when
he
it's
gets
the
all
subject
mad, but I'm
of
like
a-
wrong too.
I'm trying to reset the line from The Office. When it's subject of the sentence, it's whom. When it's the product, I don't even know. Anyway, back.
I don't
welcome to
know.
And Now We're Haunted by the English Language.
Our grammar
Yes.
episode. Okay, so this is now the 24th. That evening, the Navy received a tip that another attack was coming.
Bum, bum,
Naval
bum.
intelligence issued a warning that an attack could come within the next 10 hours. And they blasted the sirens that an attack's coming. Everyone in LA flipped the fuck out.
Isn't that like what
Fair
happened in 2017 or something with the nuclear missile from North
Yeah.
Korea?
We always freak out. Think of
Yes.
the millennium.
Or like in the movie This Is the End when they're
Y2K.
like, oh, the LA Lakers could have
Y2K.
won, the championship.
Yeah, it could have just been the LA Lakers.
If only Cubby were here.
Cubby? Did you just say call him Cubby?
No,
It's
call him Cubby.
Kobe.
Kobe.
Oh.
So everyone went inside. Warnings were being issued. Blackouts were being called on and off throughout the night. So this was the evening, and they'd be like, "We're going into a blackout." They'd be like, "Never mind, it's fine. We're going into a blackout. Never mind, it's fine." And finally, at 2 a.m. or something, and they called a blackout. But during this time, people would see lights flashing outside. So everyone was kind of going inside, turning their lights off, everything. But they were seeing light shows.
Was it like strobe?
Well, so I think you'll get to this, but the reason for the blackouts was because of a significant use of searchlights in air raid
Oh.
defense.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And-
it could have been an Avicii concert.
Wow.
Before he killed himself.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Sure.
So now it's 2:25 a.m. on the 25th And-
February?
of February.
Okay.
February.
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 I just want to keep in the timeline.
Yes.
Right.
This was the big hour of the night.
Who get on Pahonix?
They had tracked an unidentified object about 100 miles off of LA.
Showed up on radar.
Yes.
Mhm.
The air raid sirens blared through the city. Radio silence was ordered, and the searchlights were going crazy. So that's what's happening. Everyone's inside, freaking out. At 3 a.m., a balloon-like object was spotted in the sky over Culver City and Santa Monica.
It's just a weather balloon.
We'll get there.
Swamp gases.
Some people called it a UFO, Lily.
Well, we'll get there. Trust me.
Retired officer Hauser said that we all got out and watched it. We saw something, but it was nothing definite. Seemed to be something circling around. I was standing next to my commanding officer, and he said, "It looks like an airplane to me." So, they didn't really know what it was either, being out there and patrolling. And at 3:16 in the morning, shots were fired from our military. Over 1,400 shells were fired
Wait, they fired at this
There-
object?
Yeah.
at
So
this balloon.
1,400 rounds of 50 caliber shells,
Mm-hmm.
flak, and burning phosphorus.
So
So
tracer rounds.
So the burning
incendiary
phosphorus,
rounds.
yeah. So I'm going to hop in a little
Yeah,
on the
paint a
technical
picture.
side. So the way that the air raid defense worked at the time was the spotlights are designed to target whatever it is that is there. And then the guns they have a calculation tool that says when this object is, when we fire this round, this object will be here. So they can fire ahead.
Trajectory.
Exactly. So the spotlights are there trying to shine on this object. And then the phosphorus is there because phosphorus burns consistently whenever there's oxygen or until it is completely burned out.
Right.
So it will completely incinerate something. It will burn it out. The flak rounds, and all of these are designed to explode at a certain altitude, whatever altitude is set.
So incendiary rounds, but also tracer.
Yes,
Okay.
tracers, incendiaries, everything's going up in the air. 1,400 rounds over Los Angeles.
In 1941 is an incredible feat.
Yeah.
Because now, I mean, you can hit 1,400 rounds in like a minute.
Yeah.
But during that, it would have taken a few minutes.
Yeah,
to
this is
actually
from
get that.
multiple guns and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheesh.
So that was at 3:16. At 7:21 in the morning, the all clear was given and the blackout was lifted over Los Angeles. A lot of buildings and vehicles were damaged from the shell fragments. Depending on which articles I was reading, it's 5 or 6 people died this night. 3 were from a car accident, and either 2 or 3, depending on which place I read from, were from heart attacks caused by the stress of the evening.
Oh,
Which
my.
I can't
What?
decide
Yeah.
if with the heart attacks, was it because they just weren't using their headlights or were they staring up in the sky? They're like, I'm not going to stop and watch this.
Like
I'm going
that
to keep
guy
driving.
who stormed the Capitol and had a heart attack.
On a-
Fucking dumb bitch.
I mean, kind of on a real note, I think about it. In this 1940s, there's a world war going on.
Yeah.
And you're seeing all these rounds going up. You're thinking that your country is being invaded.
Exactly.
I don't
That's
have it in my
crazy.
notes, but I did read, and I thought this was interesting because I had a baby during COVID,
Mhm.
and like that was really
You did?
I did. So that was terrifying, first time parents,
Mhm.
kind of not knowing what's going on and not knowing what to expect in general of having a child. But then with all this pandemic stuff,
Yeah.
I read about this woman who she gave birth that night. And she said it was like very terrifying. The lights were out.
Oh
The
my
nurses
God.
went to the nursery to go get the babies and bring them to the mothers because they didn't know what was going on. They like didn't know what the outcome was going to be. And she's like, to this day, I don't even know if I got handed the right baby
Ooh.
because it was pitch black in the hospital and the nurses were just going to grab a baby and take it to the mother.
DNA testing?
Yeah. There were,
Anyone?
I mean, that was not like the huge issue back then. Like they wanted their babies to protect them and be
Right.
with them and because they didn't know what was going on and what was going to happen the next day. But like, how scary is that?
That is really scary. I can't imagine being in that situation and being in like a dark room for any reason. Like,
yeah.
oof, a
There
medical
were-
emergency.
There were other injuries associated with this too, but it was from like, I remember reading one guy was looking in someone's lighted window. He was there to tell them to shut their lights off, and he fell off a ladder and broke his ankle. And
That would
so-
be
Like,
something that
yeah,
would
they all
happen to
seemed to
me.
be really like silly injuries.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I
Well,
mean, it's
like-
for the greater good. Like they're trying to get everybody to shut their lights
Yeah,
off.
when you're in that situation.
Okay, so we
We're
are
on a
on
timeline.
February 25th. So later that morning, Secretary of the Navy Frank Knox held a press conference saying it was a false alarm due to anxiety and war nerves. But
Trigger happy.
Army General George Marshall said the incident might have been caused by enemy agents using commercial airplanes in psychological warfare to create panic.
Oh, that's
Which-
a great theory.
Is it? Because here's my thought. What this means is they think Japanese are taking commercial planes and just flying over the city to scare people. Except when a commercial plane flies over a city that commercial planes always fly over, my first thought's not, we're getting bombed.
Oh,
you know, like, it's not-
feels like this is a T anon type thing,
Yeah, yeah.
or Japan. I guess it would be J anon, Janon.
But like, with the Army saying one thing and the Navy saying another, that caused a lot of just
Skepticism.
Friction.
Skepticism.
Skepticism.
skepticism. New word of the day. But yes, it
Skepticism?
caused, a lot of people were
Skepticism.
like, what the hell is going on? People suspected a cover up. And the Long Beach Independent paper said there's a mysterious, I don't know how to say this word, reticence?
Reticence.
Reticence?
Reticence, yeah.
Skepticism.
about the whole affair, and it appears that some sort of censorship is trying to halt discussion of the matter. So, and I believe it was, I'll get to it.
Okay.
So there are some different theories on as to what happened.
Well, do you have a spot where you're going to talk about the picture?
I don't. I'll let you talk about the picture.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and hop in on that. So there was a picture, a photograph taken that was posted in the LA Times that was sent out the following day. Now, we'll add this to the show notes, but I've got it right here. And I want you to understand, here's the picture.
So is this the edited version or no?
Yes, this is the edited version. So the way that photos were done, and we'll describe this real quick. So you've got multiple searchlights all pointed up in the sky. There are explosions in the vicinity. And the searchlights are obviously illuminating some object. It's black and white, unfortunately.
So they did actually retouch photos regularly back
That's
then.
a better photo than the Lubbock
It
Lights
was
photo.
It was standard to do that to black and white photos for the newspapers back then.
Yeah, and so what they would do is they would go in and they would take a negative and they would highlight and paint over the negative and then add it to the newspaper so that it was easier to see and things like that. Now, this leads to a lot of possibility for, nefarious, not necessarily nefarious, but additions just to sell papers or whatever. So, and I have not ever seen a photo of the original negative.
Oh, I will send it to you for show notes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Why was it edited?
It was just a regular practice back then, so
Quality.
people could see the photo in the newspaper.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So they did it for like every photo in the papers
The
back
old
then.
time, a print and press.
Yeah. So there are some theories, and I don't know if you guys know more on these theories than I could get, because some of them are like military, but there was something they thought like maybe there was a secret base in Mexico that Japan was at.
There always is.
They used that base to come up to California and do this.
Well, so part of the reason they thought that was because during World War II, we also intercepted communications from Germany to Mexico that were asking the Mexicans to attack the U.S. from the south and that Germany would pay them off. It never happened, obviously, and we had intercepted it. But this kind of led to a little bit of, what if Japan is using Mexico as well as another kind of base of operations?
Mm-hmm. And that's how they brought the aircrafts and the submarines up to California with ease. Some thought that it was like staged and exaggerated so that defense companies had an excuse to move their stuff, like Tony Stark.
Got it. To secure more government contracts for production. And
exactly. So they think that it was all just staged by the government, so they had an excuse.
Sure.
Right? Sounds very much like us.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with that one.
So Leland Ford was a representative for Santa Monica, and he called for a congressional investigation, saying, he was saying none of the explanations so far offered remove the category from complete mystification. This was either a practice raid or a raid to throw a scare to 2 million people, or a mistaken identity raid, or a raid to lay a political foundation to take away Southern California's war industry. So,
so he's saying everything that happened is staged in one form or another.
He was like, this is totally messed up. I want Congress to investigate this and find out what exactly happened in Southern California.
Meanwhile, the rest of Congress is like, shh.
Yeah. Shut your trap. Nancy Pelosi was there.
Yeah.
She was
so
probably
Mitch
in her
McConnell.
30s then.
Right. Her and Mitch were only like 52.
That's before he became Moscow Mitch. Oh boy. He's Japanese Mitch.
Kyoto Mitch. Hiroshima Pelosi.
I was thinking Pyongyang Pelosi, but that's a different time.
That's
Korea.
That's
Geisha Pelosi.
Geisha Pelosi.
and
Geisha Mitch.
Gross. Okay. So in 1945, when the war was over, the Japanese government did come out and they declared that they had never flown airplanes near Los Angeles during the war. So like they kept this quiet, keeping the scare alive during the war, but afterwards they're like, yo fools, that wasn't us. There's a UFO theory. So this is going into the photo a little bit. The photo published by the LA Times on February 26th is what sparked the UFO theories. like we talked about, it was a regular practice to retouch these photos. And because of that, people that they see in the photo clearly that it displays searchlights focused on an alien spaceship. But like, I will send you the original photo, and the original photo is not nearly like, it
Well,
looks like a spaceship.
We'll post the photo on our
We
Instagram.
can do before and after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 1970s, the idea that extraterrestrial invasion was responsible for setting the Battle of Los Angeles, that began to circulate in the UFO community. And they used that doctored photo as like their big, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Source
Meg.
of proof.
Their source of proof. Sure.
Fine.
So real quick,
And that also it was immune to gunfire. So like we said, it was 1,400, shell casings, whatever.
yeah, shells.
Shells.
It's
I don't know. I'm not in the military. I'm a girl.
There are plenty of
1,400
women.
macaroons.
No, not in 1942.
I've shot a gun like 4 times.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me
so-
a piece of that applesauce.
So
No.
what I want to also say is like the next day, there were no enemy shells on the ground. There were no enemy shots fired from anywhere. Nothing got hit by someone else's bullets. Only bullets by like the U.S. were fired.
There's also no crashed aircraft or any
So we
type of
missed
thing like that.
1,400 times.
Yes.
Okay.
So nothing, like literally nothing was found.
That's really fucked up that the government staged this.
It is.
If
They did.
They did.
Oh, okay. Lily's
So
determined.
There's also like the cover-up theory. They think that officials were embarrassed of fighting a weather balloon.
So
Told
here's
you.
where
Told
this
you.
comes from.
We freaked out at a weather balloon.
Well, here's
Yeah,
where this
they
comes
think
from.
Again.
In the 1980s, the U.S. Air Force Department of History went back and examined the situation. The U.S. Department of History, the U.S. Air Force Department of History, had determined that there were multiple weather balloons released at the time by a nearby military base, which my first thought is that you would think that a military base in the middle of World War II, after a submarine has shot at an oil rig, would say, hey, we're releasing some weather balloons and let their air raid guys know.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they?
Well, the other issue with that is there were no weather balloon.
There were no
Results.
weather
Balloons.
balloons out.
I'm trying really hard not to get the echo, so I'm trying to pull back on how I talk.
Weather balloons.
Weather
So
balloons.
the U.S. Department of History says that the weather balloons were simply missed by 1,400 rounds and incendiary phosphorus rounds, and that they just...
So
I'm not kidding.
So
They say that the rounds may have bounced off the weather balloons, these giant 50 caliber rounds,
That
and
track.
pushed the weather balloons out of the area.
Babe, maybe
So-
you should go and like actually teach people to shoot for the military since
So-
you're the only one that
So
knows
you're telling
how.
me we missed
Wow.
1,400 times on a target moving at probably 5 to 10 miles
No,
an
no,
hour?
no. They
and
hit the target.
It bounced.
just
It
bounced
just
off and
bounced
caused
off.
it to
Christ.
move.
Every single
Um,
time.
to
Yeah.
the material that's made out of essentially a space blanket.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
So there were eyewitness reports also
Okay.
from this event, and they kind of vary, and there's a lot of inaccuracies, and just eyewitness reports are tough to kind of follow along. But there were numerous people that described a glowing light orange object that was floating somewhere between 10 and 200 miles an hour in the area. Now, this is all over the area of Los Angeles, so it could have easily changed speeds, and maybe that. Some people described it as a disc. Some people described it as an oblong, or in one report, a lozenge-shaped object.
It was a flying
lozenge.
Sudafed.
It looked like a lozenge.
I do actually have a quote in here too from a soldier who went there. And it doesn't really have anything on the shape, but it is an interesting quote.
Go for it.
So he was sent, and he said, I was summoned. I was told to keep my mouth shut and that there had been 7 Japanese planes up there. I was also told that if I repeated my story about shooting at a balloon and not empty enemy planes, I would be put behind bars.
That tracks.
Yeah. So just it's kind of definitely falls under history's mysteries.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
There's just a lot of
There's
What the
conflicting information, and it's also it's just not really well reported. You would think that Los Angeles flying 1,400 rounds.
I mean, look at how
People
they
would
covered
know
the
about
Black
it.
Dahlia.
This whole
Yeah.
story just
Yeah.
sounded like the U.S. military shot at a lozenge-shaped balloon and missed and or hit it 1,400 times and then tried to blame the Japanese.
Yo, you know what?
Yeah.
Flying Sudafed would go really well with our flying
Stop.
Ritz crackers from.
Okay. Thought you were gonna go with the
Flying
jellyfish again.
Sudafed.
You guys keep bringing up the jellyfish. It sounds like you want me to talk about sky
No,
jellies.
No.
we absolutely don't.
So, the
That's my story next week, guys.
sky jellyfish?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
Oh,
call in our
sorry.
absences.
I'm gonna take
But,
paid time off for that one.
But anyway, yeah, just the last of our pint-sized potties.
Yeah, and like, well, also, still to this day, we don't know what happened.
Mm-mm. But we hope you enjoyed it. It's a very stormy day outside today. We're expecting probably another stormy weekend next weekend.
You guys want
And
to
the
drink
following
some?
after.
Yeah,
You guys want to drink some Jack Daniels next weekend?
yeah, I might be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
So, just as a final note, if you guys are enjoying our content or have recommendations for improvement, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, or you can shoot us an email at andnowwe'rehaunted@gmail.com.
Go
Or-
follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
Woo woo.
And Now We're Haunted, or on Twitter, it's ANWH Podcast.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we've looked into the void,
And now we're haunted.